CPIM 23-ാം പാർട്ടി കോൺഗ്രസ് കണ്ണൂരിൽ ആരംഭിക്കാൻ പോകുന്നു. ദേശീയ, അന്താരാഷ്ട്ര, സംസ്ഥാന രാഷ്ട്രീയ വിഷയങ്ങളിലൊക്കെ ഒരുപക്ഷെ വിശദമായ ചർച്ചകൾ തന്നെ പാർട്ടി കോൺഗ്രസിൽ നടക്കും. അതേക്കുറിച്ച് സംസാരിക്കാൻ ഇപ്പോൾ CPIM ജനറൽ സെക്രട്ടറി സീതാറാം യെച്ചൂരി തന്നെ നമ്മോടൊപ്പം ചേരുന്നു. സ്വാഗതം ശ്രീ യെച്ചൂരി.
നമസ്കാരം.
Now the time has come for another party congress. In center, Narendra Modi has been in power for 8 years. In this political scenario, what is the role or how important is this party congress?
I think this party congress is very important. I mean, important in the sense that there is a need to work out a decisive line and approach in order to face the challenges that the country and the people are facing. And this is not a singularity of challenge. This is a multifold challenges that are being mounted, where there is a singularity of aim. And that aim is to change the character of the secular democratic Indian Republic and to advance the Hindutva agenda of the fascistic RSS. That is the singular aim. In order to achieve that, they are also mounting, apart from attacks on our constitution, the constitutional order, the independent institutions under the constitution, they are pursuing very visibly aggressive neoliberal economic policies, looting the national assets, privatizing the entire public sector, developing crony capitalism of the highest and the worst order, and creating a corporate communal nexus. And in the process, they are assaulting the democratic rights and civil liberties of the people. And what we are witnessing is growing authoritarianism. And that growing authoritarianism is trampling on the rights of the working people and individual citizens, violating all the guarantees given by the Indian Constitution. So what you see is a multi-pronged attack. So this multi-pronged attack has to be saved, and the singular feature that is allowing this attack to continue and allowing the advancing of the change in the character of the Indian Republic, that is the BJP continuing to remain in power at the center. So the central task to meet these challenges is to remove the BJP from being at the center, in charge of the central government. That is to isolate and defeat the BJP in the coming period. So that will be the singular focus of our party congress. How do we achieve it?
That is the political resolution that party is going to discuss.
The essence of the political resolution, and how we are going to achieve it is the other part of the political discussion on what is required to achieve this objective. There we have outlined very clearly that in today's context, it is the left, particularly the CPI, that has to shoulder this responsibility in a major way. Most of the other ruling class parties have shown vacillations, and the Congress party, for instance, has shown tremendous vacillations and weaknesses in the recent period with large-scale defections, etc. So the responsibility to safeguard this secular democratic constitutional republic of India and to advance the interests of the working people, that today lies on the CPIM and the left. Therefore, the main task, the task before us is to strengthen further the independent strength of the CPIM. On that basis, to consolidate the unity of the left forces, and on that basis, to consolidate the unity in struggle of the left and democratic forces on the basis of an alternative program.
What is the situation in West Bengal and Tripura? What are the lessons CPM got from these states?
You see, first one is very clear that this was a targeted attack against the CPIM and the left, both in Bengal and Tripura. In Bengal, the offensive was carried out by the Trinamool Congress, which was then supported very, very ably by the BJP RSS when this whole attack was going on, and they were, in fact, if you recollect, were in a grand coalition. A big grand coalition was there when the lieutenant government was ousted at that point of time. And in Tripura, the focus is actually by the BJP to decimate and eliminate the left. the vicious attacks, the politics of terror and the violence that they generate, his basic target is to decimate the left. But they could not succeed, they will not succeed. But we are facing these challenges, and in fact more than 300 people roughly have been killed by the Trinamool BJP, acting in various ways in Bengal, and currently in Bengal also, the way these developments are taking place, the Birbhum violence, the murder of Anis Khan, and how this politics of terror has become the rule of the game, right, of governance in Bengal. And in Tripura, very indiscriminate attacks against our officers, our properties, our comrades, and all that will be faced, and the more they try to mount and try to eliminate us through terror, that neither the semi-fascist terror of the Congress then in the 70s could succeed in Bengal, neither will this succeed. But it is a very serious challenge.
Assembly elections of 5 states are over. BJP is more and more powerful day by day. There were many issues like price rise, unemployment, COVID, etc. But still they won.
That is the point that we must all realize. The economic problems of the people, their hardships, their day-to-day life miseries, etc., they are on the one hand. But the consciousness and the mindset, which is what I was talking to you about, of creating a overarching Hindutva identity, that supersedes all these problems. Now that is the danger, where what they are doing is actually trying to control the consciousness of the people, their thinking process, their minds, their mindset. And that is the dangerous thing that is happening, because that is a very, very typical trait of fascism.
We are talking about class struggle, but caste and religious fundamentalism is a reality.
It is. It is. I mean, it's not the class struggle doesn't mean diverged from caste and fundamentalism. All these issues of social oppression, of the question of fundamentalism and its grip over the minds of the people, fundamentalism of all varieties and its grips on the minds of the people, are all eventually part of the larger class struggle. That's why, if you remember, when I became the General Secretary, the slogan that was given at the time of our 2015 Party Congress, our 21st Party Congress, was that I said that the class struggle in India stands on 2 feet. One is economic exploitation, the other one is social oppression. Unless both the feet start moving, you cannot walk. So if the class struggle has to advance, both aspects have to go hand in hand or foot in foot, so to speak.
If there is not a level playing field, how can left overcome the situation?
That we must be prepared that there will never be a level playing field, however much we will struggle for it. We will struggle for it, that's the constitutional right, there has to be a level playing field. But the level playing field is continuously being distorted. Look at these electoral bonds. They legalize political corruption and they give a massive money power advantage to the BJP. No level playing field. And look at the control over the media. Look at the amount of space that is devoted to them in the electronic media. There is no level playing field. So neither in terms of money, neither in terms of propaganda, and in terms of misuse of official machinery.
Hijacking mainstream media and journalists.
Exactly. That's it. I mean, that is it. I mean, there are very notable exceptions among the media. I mean, salute to them. I mean, they're at least keeping up the, their role and the freedom of expression concept. But by and large, everything has been reduced to money power, control over everything. Now that is destroying the level playing field. It's a big battle. But then we must be prepared, and we are being prepared, and this Party Congress will help us give directions on how to overcome the limitations of this non-level playing field in order to achieve the objective. If you don't support me, if you oppose me, you are an anti-national. So UAPA, 72% of the UAPA cases in the country have been after Modi became Prime Minister.
Our prestigious university is suffernized by central government. Teachers are now afraid to taking classes about fascism.
That is how that is how they put the pressure to control the minds of the people. And that is what, when I said that overarching Hindutva identity that they're creating, the replacement of rationality by irrationality, and that recourse to obscurantism, backwardness, you know, these sort of issues are which they use, misusing people's faith to achieve their objective. And this is a typical fascist trend.